Welcome to Mysteries to Solve.
In 1912, an antique book dealer named Wilfrid Voynich bought an old manuscript from a Jesuit college in Italy. It had strange plants that don't exist in nature, naked women bathing in tubes of green liquid connected by tubes and pipes, and an entire alphabet that no living person has ever been able to read. Since then, the finest code breakers in history have tried to crack it. The team that broke the Nazi enigma machine during World War II. The same people who cracked one of the most sophisticated encryption systems ever built looked at this book and got nowhere. Modern supercomputers, artificial intelligence, and over 100 years of collective effort have thrown everything they have at it. And the Voynich manuscript has beaten every single one of them. Today, we're going to look at why this book has resisted every attempt to decode it, the leading theories about what it actually is, and why some experts now think it might be something far stranger than a secret code.
Let's start with the basics. The manuscript is a book of about 240 pages, made of vellum, that's treated animal skin, the standard writing material before paper became common in Europe. Radiocarbon dating places its creation somewhere between 1404 and 1438, in the early 1400s, during the late Middle Ages. It's currently kept at Yale University's Beinecke Rare Book Library, where it's been studied, scanned, and made publicly available online for anyone curious enough to try their hand at it. The book is organized into several distinct sections, and each one is bizarre in its own way. There's a botanical section, filled with drawings of plants. The problem? Roughly a third of these plants don't match any known species. Some look like combinations of different real plants stitched together, roots from one, leaves from another. There's an astronomical section, with circular diagrams that resemble star charts or zodiac symbols, though they don't cleanly match any known astrological system from medieval Europe. There's a biological section, and this is the one people remember. Page after page of small, nude female figures bathing in green pools connected by an elaborate network of tubes and basins, almost like some kind of plumbing system for the human body. There's a pharmaceutical section, showing labeled jars alongside plant parts, suggesting recipes or instructions. And finally, a long section of dense, continuous text with small star-shaped symbols in the margins, which some researchers believe might be some kind of almanac or collection of recipes. But running through every single page, tying all of these sections together, is the same mysterious script, and that script is the true heart of the mystery. The writing system in the Voynich manuscript is called, appropriately, Voynichese. It uses somewhere between 20 and 30 distinct characters, some of which resemble Latin letters, and some of which look like nothing else in any known writing system on Earth. Here's what makes it so maddening for codebreakers. The text follows clear statistical patterns. Certain characters appear far more often at the beginning of words, others cluster near the end. Word lengths follow a predictable distribution, similar to real languages. There's something called Zipf's law, a pattern where the most common word in a language appears roughly twice as often as the second most common word, 3 times as often as the third, and so on. Real human languages follow this pattern. Random gibberish typically does not. The Voynich manuscript follows Zipf's law almost perfectly. This is exactly what you'd expect from real language, or from a genuinely sophisticated code. It's also exactly what has convinced generations of cryptographers that there must be meaning buried in these pages, if only they could find the key.
And yet, no proposed solution has ever held up to scrutiny. Researchers have claimed to have cracked it dozens of times over the past century. Every single claim has eventually collapsed once other experts tried to replicate the results, or once the translation was applied to a different page and produced nonsense. So we're left with 3 real possibilities. The most popular theory is that the manuscript is written in a real language, possibly Latin, Italian, German, or even an early form of Hebrew or Arabic, but encoded using a cipher system to disguise its meaning. This was common in the medieval and early Renaissance period, especially for anything related to medicine, alchemy, or forbidden knowledge. Codes protected valuable information, whether that was a secret recipe, a heretical religious idea, or proprietary medical knowledge someone didn't want stolen. The problem with this theory is simple. After more than a century of trying every known cipher technique from that era, nobody has produced a translation that holds up.
Theory 2. It's a constructed or invented language. Some researchers believe the manuscript isn't hiding a known language at all. It might be written in an entirely invented language, something built from scratch, the way modern Comlang creators built Klingon or Dothraki centuries later. This theory gained traction because certain aspects of the text structure don't match how known ciphers of the era behaved. It might not be hiding something. It might simply be something new. Theory 3. It's an elaborate hoax. This is the theory that's gained the most momentum in recent years, largely thanks to computational analysis. Some researchers argue the manuscript could be a sophisticated hoax, meaningless text generated using a grill or table-based system that produces statistically language-like output without encoding any real message at all. In the early 1400s, novelty manuscripts like this could fetch enormous sums, especially if they were framed as containing lost or occult knowledge. Under this theory, Zipf's law patterns and other language-like qualities could emerge from purely mechanical processes without any actual content behind them. The unsettling part is this: nobody has proven any of these three theories, not one. After a century of some of the sharpest minds in cryptography, linguistics, and now artificial intelligence throwing everything they have at 240 pages of vellum, the Voynich manuscript remains exactly what it was in 1912. Unread.
In recent years, researchers have applied machine learning models to the manuscript, hoping that pattern recognition at scale could succeed where human effort had failed. Some studies have claimed partial success. One 2018 analysis suggested the text shared statistical similarities with Hebrew, proposing a possible decoding method. But when other researchers tested that method against the full manuscript, it produced grammatically broken, mostly meaningless output. It didn't hold up. The core issue is that AI language models are exceptionally good at finding patterns, but patterns are not the same as meaning. An algorithm can tell you the manuscript behaves statistically like a real language without ever telling you what a single word means. Without a Rosetta Stone moment, a bilingual reference point connecting Voynichese to a known language, even the most advanced AI is essentially guessing with extra steps. Until someone finds an external reference point, the manuscript may remain permanently just out of reach, no matter how powerful our tools become.
So, where does that leave us? Somewhere in a climate-controlled vault at Yale, 240 pages of 600-year-old vellum sit quietly, covered in a script that has defeated enigma codebreakers, university linguistics departments, amateur codebreakers, and now some of the most advanced artificial intelligence ever built. Maybe it's a lost language. Maybe it's a brilliant cipher waiting for the right key. Or maybe, and this might be the strangest possibility of all, it's nothing at all. A beautiful, meaningless illusion created 6 centuries ago by someone who understood something we're still relearning today, that mystery itself can be its own kind of masterpiece. If you enjoyed this dive into one of history's greatest unsolved mysteries, let me know in the comments. What do you think the manuscript actually is? And if you want more deep dives into history's strangest unsolved puzzles, subscribe, because this is only the beginning.